Hello, welcome back. And today we want to create a gather along the edges of this simple roof of our petrol station canopy. This gather will just offer a support, just offering a support for the roof trimming facade of this simple structure. So there's still a lot to be added on here, but I'm just creating the profile just to trim the edge of this particular shade of petrol station. So I had created this previously, and this is very quite easy to create. And to create this, first of all, yes, there are many options. You can just create this member at the center there, then offset it with half the distance of this, then again the half distance of that going downward. And let me just show you the distance here. If I come to edit and come to measure here and pick on measure distance, I'll snap on top of this member here and move all the way to the bottom end here just to snap over, just mouse over any point there, and you'll be able to see it is 674. So this is the distance I'm talking about, that if you offset it by half that 674, you will get to this position, and you'll get to this position. So you'll do the same to the other end, and this it should be something that you should be checking you back and forth. That's why I did it beforehand, because I'm trying to cut down on time on the training. Now, there are two options. I can join these two frames by coming here and using the edit tool and coming to join frames, but I've used that several times. So there are also another way of doing that if you're a beginner, and you can just go literally and come to steel here and come to steel bin and just to snap on that node and come all the way here and connect it manually like that. As simple as that. And come here once again and select it and reposition it by pressing Ctrl W, and everything is done. So if you select it once again, right click and come to special copy here and pick on linear. And this time round, you can see the location of our XYZ axis. It is in the wrong direction. So I can either work with the Y axis, or I can just take my axis to global position. So I'll just click on global, just click on that global, and I'll change that to 0, then come to the axis and feed in by prefixing my distance of 674 here by negative sign and click OK. So if once I've clicked OK, I forgot to subtract the 50, because this is a 50-50, a 50 by 50 by 6 millimeter thick. So I'll select that and take it up and move it up by 50. Move it up by 50. Just take it up by 50 so that we land. They become a collinear. They line that way. So let me just go ahead and click move. So if I click move, I have my members in place and in line. So I'll just select on this once again, and I'll right click and come to special copy here and pick on mirror. So I have to define my mirror line, and by good luck my mirror line is in place, and the mirror line should be the midpoint, that when I invoke this command, these components will land and connect accurately with these ones. So if I go ahead and click that, you'll be able to see I've joined on those. I've joined with these components, with these members, and also these members. So you can see our connection is complete. So that's how we do it. Now, if we take a closer look here, we have, if I zoom out, you can see, if we lay iron sheets here, there's this member will be sagging, or will be, when you're doing erection, it will be wobbling. There's no stability there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another secondary member here, just to make this more rigid. So when doing the erection, it shouldn't be something that to worry about. Now I want to add this member here because we forgot to add it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just click on that and mouse over here, just to snap on that spot and move all the way and snap on this spot here on the nodes there. Right click and interrupt that. And it's picking this member as a default because it's the last member I had used, and previously I had assigned it I've assigned it as a default member or a default profile. So the profile should be the same with this. So I'll double click on this. Then from here, I'll just select and copy this. So I'll close this. I'll close that, double click on this member once again, and I'll paste the profile here. So once I've pasted there, I'll just go ahead and click on OK. So if I click on OK and turn that round, rotate that, I'll come to Control W, app, and double click once again there, and come to alignment here on plane. So under plane, I'll just type 100 and click apply. So if I click that, I'll be able to place or to align that with this member here. So what is remaining, you can see it is one member colliding this. So we have to break this in the middle here. So how do you do that? We'll come to edit, then come to edit frame, then we come to break, and I'll select the member to break and just mouse over here till I get a snap, and I've broken that into two. So this member is different from that member. So whenever I want to create a connection, I'll come straight to beam to beam connection here, and I'll pick the right connection here. Let me come to that member, and I'll pick on this. So I'll try to apply this connection here. I'll try to use that, and that is what I'm getting actually. And if I double click on it once again and give it some time to bring the editor dialog box, and I'll come to macro presets here. This is where you save all your connections. I'll come there and load my setting there, and click apply and give it an OK. So I've created a connection there. So it's always advisable, if you double click and you don't want to go repeatedly doing that, loading and doing that, just click this, just click that as a default setting. So whenever you create a connection, it will be picked as a default. So if I select on that, that will be a default connection on the other end. So I don't need to go back and load that. So I'll come back and connect that to that, and we have connection right there. Let me pick the center of my rotation. I've picked this macro symbol, and I'll right click and hold my mouse and rotate my mouse like that, and I'll be able to see my connection has been created perfectly. So from here, we also need to add some stiffeners, because initially we didn't add, but I had showed you previously how to do that. And so that will be added behind the scenes, because I had showed you that before. So I can connect that to that, and we have that in place. Now we want to add some struts or some members on the guide here. So how do you do that? We'll come to view line A and double click on that, and we'll have the sectional view of this guide. So we want to add struts inside here, so just to make it more rigid. So I think that we can do in the next presentation or in the next series. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And this is Morris Dimba, and also don't forget to have a trial or have a taste of ComoCC user interface, and enjoy the friendly tools in ComoCC. Bye bye, and don't forget to have a trial on that, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Bye bye. This is Morris Dimba.